What's up, everybody? We are back, second time trying number 120 of the Two Wheels to Freedom show with a very special guest, Mr. Ryan Leyba. Um, but first, I need to tell you about the Two Wheels to Freedom Fest, which is April 19th and 20th in Winnsboro, South Carolina at the Cedar Grove Motocross Park. We're going to have stuff for street bikes, or for like a Harley rally type stuff, biker games, dirt drags, stuff like that. You can drag your dirt bike or your road bike. We're also going to have camping there, some bands and stuff like that. We're going to have an amateur freestyle motocross contest, and we're going to have the Harley jump. So go to twowheelstofreedom.com for all the information there. And now my next guest here tonight, he actually invented the KOD, invented a bunch of other more obscure tricks that you may or may not know about. And he also wrote for ESPN for a while, Mr. Ryan Leyba. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
We just went through a bunch of this and it was echoing, so now you got the awkward second intro.
No, it's perfect. Hopefully it's better this time. The audio.
Yeah, I got the practice. There you go. Sounds great. So we're
Perfect.
good. All right. So, like I said, you invented some tricks, but we're going to go back to the beginning, how you actually got into riding motocross or freestyle motocross or however you got in there.
Sure. So, I feel like my path is uh, pretty similar for most people that rode freestyle. Got into riding dirt bikes just as a kid. I was like 12 years old. Begged my dad for a dirt bike and just rode in the hills, did trail riding. One thing leads to another. I got into racing. And then when I graduated high school, I moved to Temecula to pursue racing full time to be professional. And I was good at racing, but I was not. and and as luck would have it, one day I was at Temecula Motorsports, and I overheard some kid saying that he had ramps in his yard. And I'm super shy and like introverted, so I don't know what possessed me to go up to him, but I was just like, I heard you have ramps. I'd love to hit them, blah, blah, blah. And that dude was Manny and Manny Jubala. And then one thing led to another. And we were just, next thing you know, I'm riding freestyle and doing contests. That's really the short end, short story.
How long, well, so you started riding at, when did you say, 12 or 13?
Yeah, right around there.
And when did you end up riding your first show?
Freestyle.
Yeah.
You're, I was probably 18 years old. Um,
So it was not
and
actually that long of a journey.
no, it's crazy because when I think back on it, like it seems like the whole, like it just seems like my entire life, like motocross. But looking back on it, it's wild. I was doing an interview with Jordy from the Book
Yeah.
of FMX, and we were going over like my FMX career, and I was like, shit, I think I only rode for like 2 years, rode professionally for 2 years, but it's like in my mind, it just seems like a lifetime. Like I don't know, it's weird. So yeah, I was kind of in and out.
But I just meant even from when you first started riding, it's
Sure.
like if you
Yeah.
started riding at 12 and at 18 or 19, it's only really a handful of years that you rode even before you got to there. So you must have obviously understood it right away and just kind of grasped it. Did you
No,
ride?
I ran into a fence the first time I rode. My sister was way better. She was ripping up. But yeah, I picked it up and then I just, like I just did it every day. I was just
Yeah.
obsessed. So I guess, that helped.
Yeah, that counts for a lot, getting obsessed.
Yeah.
Um, did didn't you invent is it the shoebox hanger or just the box hanger?
The Box hanger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't even know if I named it. I don't think I named any of my tricks. I feel like people would just kind of come up with names and be like, "Oh, that sounds cool." Uh, but yeah, yeah, I did the box hanger, um, the
Knack in the
tweak
box.
air. Oh, the knack in the box. Sure, sure. The tweak air, which really was me just trying to do kind of like an Indian air, and it kind of evolved into and kind of became its own thing.
Yeah.
And then the kiss of death, which is more controversial.
I would say you were the first person, no knack indie into the bike. Everybody else, I would say, kicked away, and that's why yours was different.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. No, I think you're right. I mean, I never noticed that, but I know
Uh,
you. Yeah, because I think Jones did it. He kind of like, yeah, no,
More like a
yeah, yeah,
can, they were straight and kind of canned it, where yours was you were the first person to into the opposite way, like back up into the bike.
yeah. Which does make sense because that's the way I did my tweak air. So it's kind of just, I guess, the way my body bent.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I loved even box hangers and knack in the box. Those were always some of my favorite, like obscure little tricks that people don't really know about.
Yeah,
Some
I
people
feel
will
like they're
still
not.
do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like they're not big like showstoppers, like they're not super dynamic,
Yeah,
like limbs flying everywhere. So, but I was just like, why aren't people doing anything inside their airbox with their feet? And so tried it, and it really like it kind of looks gnarly, but I felt like it was one of the more safe tricks because I mean, your feet are still kind of there.
yeah,
So
yeah. You're right by your side panels there still.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
it's weird though. You do have to like jump up and like pull back on your bars and like push your bike down so that you can kind of stay. That's what I did, so that my bike was like a little higher.
Okay, yeah, 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 totally. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's been forever since I've even tried it anyway, but
Do you still hit ramps? I mean, do you
no.
ride?
I ride a
No?
little bit, but I haven't hit
Yeah.
ramps. Do you ride at all? You're in the city.
No, no. So I quit riding. I can't remember the exact reason why I quit. But I think it was just from years of my mom saying, "Please stop riding. Please stop. I don't want you to die." Yeah. And I think it finally like burned into my brain. And it was around the time people started backflipping, and I'm like, okay, this seems like a good time to stop riding.
Yeah.
Um, and then I worked in the industry doing photography and journalism and whatnot, but uh, I had no desire to ride. I was just kind of over it at that point. I was still a fan of the sport, but I just didn't have like the desire to ride a dirt bike. And it really wasn't until recently I got back on Instagram. I wasn't really on social media, and I started following everyone and just seeing all the shit and just like looking how far the dirt bikes themselves have come. And I'm like, God, they look so sick. And like now every
Yeah.
day I'm just like, fuck, I want to ride. Like, God, I wish I had a bike.
Dude, I have a 2013 CRF 450 and
Okay.
it's obviously over 10 years old now.
Yeah.
And it's still way sicker than anything we rode before that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
just the suspension and stuff is so good on them.
They've come so far. It's crazy. Like when I look back on, like I was riding around like 2001 is when I was pro. And like in my head, the bikes were so sick. But when I look back on them after seeing like how far they've come,
Yeah.
they look super old. I'm like, holy shit, it's so crazy. Like how that works. It's just like, just from a design standpoint as well, but the technology and shit, like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, the forks are so much fatter now, and they've got
Mm,
all kinds of more adjustments on them.
okay.
Well, some of them do. It depends. There's been
Hmm.
a million iterations of forks between then and now, but like the 13 has air forks on it, which are kind of cool, but also
Okay.
kind of a pain in the ass because
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah. Yeah.
they heat up, and by the end of the race, it's like way harder than it was.
Yeah. I heard about that. Do KTM's have the same as well?
Well, Honda even got rid of it, so they're
Gotcha.
back to
Gotcha.
regular forks. So I'm sure
Yeah.
KTM had them for a little bit, but I think they may have gotten rid of them as well. I'm not really entirely
Okay.
sure. So once you stopped riding, you went right to ESPN, or you shot freelance photos for a while, or?
Yeah, I did freelance. When I was writing, I had the chance to meet really amazing photographers and videographers like Garth Milan, John Rushton, who did a lot of filming, and Joe
Yeah.
Nell. And uh, and so when I was writing and they were shooting, I'd always be really interested in the shooting aspect of it as well. And so it just kind of seemed like a natural transition. Like I want to shoot now that I'm not writing anymore, and just being friends with those guys really like opened up a door for me to be able to do that. And I started off just freelance, and but because I was friends with all the writers, I was able to get a lot of good access. And so I got my stuff in. I worked with like Transworld and Racer X and Freerider MX in Australia. Um, and then so I did that freelance for a while, and then I got hired at ESPN.
Awesome. And then you were
Yeah,
writing a lot of articles for them.
yeah. It was they covered like X Games and stuff, but they wanted to make like an action sports section, and freestyle had its own entire section, like a blog. Um, and we produced video and stuff. And so I was just the editor of the freestyle motocross section.
Wasn't it EXPN or something where you
It
were
was,
there?
yeah. Yeah, EXPN, and then it
Yeah,
became ESPN. Um, and it was cool. Like I feel like it legitimized FMX from a media standpoint, because like the motocross magazines covered FMX, but it was just a portion of, just a
right.
little bit of the magazine. You did have freestyle magazines like Freerider MX in Australia, but it was just cool. It really like gave FMX a platform and allowed me to really like full on cover it. And I tried to, like showcase all the personalities and up and comers and just kind of like give a face to the riders, um, on a more intimate level.
And what happened with that? There's just never not big enough fan base.
So it went on for a while. I mean, it was doing really well. I was there like 5 years. And then they got rid of the whole action sports section and just changed it to xgames.com. And uh, so it quit being a part of ESPN and became its own thing with X Games. And I had moved to New York for that job. Um, and
Yeah.
after 5 years, they're like, hey, we're moving back to LA and we're going to be xgames.com. Do you want to come? And I was like, I'm good. I had gotten married. I lived in New York. I made my home here. And I was like, maybe this is time to get out of motocross altogether.
So that's what I was going to ask next. You still live in New York.
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
So,
And yeah, as I work in advertising.
okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So it was kind of like a natural progression for me. Like everyone I knew worked in advertising, and it was editorial's really cool. It was a fun job, but there's kind of like only so much you can make. There's a bit of a pay ceiling, and so I felt like the next step professionally was, to grow up and make more money.
so what kind of do you work for one magazine, or what do you?
So no, right now I work at WebMD.
Oh,
I was
okay.
at Viacom for like 5 years. I worked on cool stuff like MTV and Comedy Central, doing stuff like that for like the website ad stuff.
Cool.
And now I'm at WebMD. Who knows where I'll end up next? I'm having a bit of a midlife crisis. I'd like to do something cool, but I don't know what I don't know what that'll be. I mean, maybe I'll start riding again.
Well, I'm not that far from you.
What,
I'm
age wise?
no, I'm in North Jersey.
Oh, I thought you were talking age.
S- So I'm
You're in
probably,
Jersey? I thought.
yeah.
Okay. Oh shit.
So I'm probably like 2 hours from you.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, they just opened an office in Newark, and now I need to go in there a couple
Okay.
times a week. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's I go to a shop down in Lyndhurst, which is not that far from Newark. So,
oh, cool. Yeah, East Coast boys.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it here, man. I mean, I miss, like I said, I've been dying to ride dirt bikes, and it just doesn't really seem possible here. But I'm like, fuck, dude. As soon as I move back to LA, or if I move back, like the first thing I'm doing is buying a dirt bike.
No, there's plenty of riding over here. One, you know Derek.
Sure, sure.
Derek's
That's
not
true.
far either. He's Central Jersey, so there's a bunch of us up here. Once the weather breaks, I know if you want to come up, we go riding around here periodically. I don't go as much as I'd like to, but we go there
Okay.
or English Town. You can go some practice tracks. There's some Metro New York tracks that'd probably be close to you, like Walden. Playboy is still, I think it's Walden, and that's probably not that far. It's probably closer than
All
not.
right. That'd be cool. It's just like, I don't have a fucking dirt bike.
Well, you can ride mine. It's fine. We'll just swap on the old dog.
All right. That'd be sick, man. I'd love that. I actually, maybe about a year ago, went out to LA just to visit, and Tyler King hit me up, and he's like, "Dude, we got to ride." And so I had the chance to ride, probably like first time in over 10 years, maybe 15 years. With I got to go out to Beaumont with Tyler King and Mike Harris, and it was fucking awesome. Harris let me borrow his CR250, and we pull up, and it's Beaumont. It was like peak, good dirt, sick jumps everywhere. And as we pull up, I'm like nervous, like shit, I haven't done this in a long time. But in my head, I'm like looking at these jumps, like I can do this shit.
Yeah, some
And then
aren't
I
that big.
kickstart, and then I kickstart the bike, and I'm like, I just forgot how gnarly dirt bikes were. And like, I mean, the first jump I hit, I barely hit it, and my arms flew off the bars when I landed. I'm like, I forgot. Like dirt bikes are fucking gnarly. I'm like, but I feel like I could get back to hitting good jumps, but I would need a bike I'm comfortable on in maybe like a couple weeks.
Yeah, of
But I
course.
feel
I
like
mean,
it's still in there,
of
right?
course. Of course, on all that. 10 years is a long time to just hop on and go to a Beaumont. That's kind of gnarly.
Yeah. And it had like FMX suspension,
Yeah,
FMXE. It was like a washing machine with handlebars. It was
yeah.
gnarly.
It's just deflecting
Yeah.
off of every bump and rut.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was
One,
cool though. I mean, it was a good time.
I went to Beaumont once or twice with Javier, and
Yeah.
same thing. We just had his bike because I just had flown out there. So I rode on the back of his bike to the jumps, and then I would get
Yeah,
off, and
yeah.
he would jump them, and then he'd give me the bike, and I would jump them, and then we drive to another jump and do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get on someone else's bike too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
hard to just jump on and go for it.
bars, levers, not even
Yeah.
suspension. Just start there.
Yeah, totally. Totally. But yeah,
Um,
it was cool. I'd love to ride.
I do have, because I wasn't able to find any real footage of you. There's like not that much footage of
No.
you. I
It's like
was,
I feel like it's all on, like, it came out on VHS and in like DVD. The internet wasn't a thing
yeah,
back when I was writing. So it's like it's out there, but it's on eBay on a fucking VHS tape, you
right,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, it's hard because I've tried looking as well. I've found a few things, but yeah,
Well,
it was just pre-internet.
these guys are gonna dig it up now because like this is Moto X Psycho, him, and we got Braden Hollick. Dude, they're masters at finding old events.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like so much. They've been putting so much stuff up. It's incredible.
Oh, that's cool.
Where is trying to find that window so I can play that. There we go. So this is just actually, yeah, Moto X Psycho put this up on here. It's 3 minutes of just you at the X Games in 2001.
Oh boy.
How
Oh,
well?
yeah.
This is East Coast. How well do you remember this?
I remember it pretty well, actually. I mean, it was such an awesome moment in my career and in my life. I remember it pretty well. Fun fact: my dad's a crazy snorer, and the night before the X Games, we were in a hotel room, and he was just fucking sawing logs all night long. And I'm like, dude, quit snoring. I have a contest tomorrow. And he just would fall right back asleep and start snoring. So I slept it was in Vermont, and I slept in the freezing car with like the turning the heat on and off all night and got like 2 hours of sleep. So that's a fun fact about that.
Dude. We actually just
But
went to Mount Snow and snowboarded like a couple of weeks, and
oh,
then I
cool.
watched this and I was like, oh shit, that's where this was.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool, man. I mean, I I just got approached by, I think it was Paul Tableed, and oh, there's Joe Leyba, my dad. And he was just like, "Hey, it was at a contest in Vegas," and he's like, "Would you want to ride the X Games?" X Games, and I'm like, "Dude, yeah." And he told me it's going to be in the snow. It's going to be the Winter X Games, and I'm like, I have no idea how that's going to work, but yeah, let's,
Was
I
this
mean,
the
and it
first
was,
one?
yeah, yeah, it was the first time in snow, and so no one knew what to expect,
Right.
and you'll see if you see like Justin Homan's video, he has like this ski on the front of his bike so that if your wheel goes through the snow, it like catches the skis.
Uh,
And the dude that made those was going to everyone in the X Games saying, "Hey, will you ride with this?" Trying to get us to use it. And I tested it on like a dirt ramp or ramp to dirt, and it was just too heavy and sketchy. So
yeah.
I think most people just drilled studs into their tires.
Yeah,
Um,
that's usually the move.
Yeah, yeah. But it was wild. I mean, no one really had an idea what to expect, but it was like ice, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty mellow lip. It wasn't too poppy. But it was third gear. I remember that. I wasn't used to hitting stuff in third.
Yeah, just because you're spinning, you have way more wheel spin, so.
Yeah, and it was kind of like uphill. You were kind of going uphill to the jump. Um, at the contest, I had planned on throwing just like a tweak air and maybe something else like that right there. And Cameron Steele's like, "Dude, you got to throw the kiss of death." And he's like, "You got to make it your first trick." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." like, and so I did. And I think he knew, like maybe he knew that Mike Jones was going to throw it too. And he was like, "You should throw it first." So, uh, yeah, I mean, I ended up getting seventh place. Um, and Jones won the gold.
With a couple of
And
degrees difference.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I was kind of bummed, but looking back, I'm like, thank God I didn't win or like get a medal, because I feel like it would have just, I don't know, would have fucked with me and then made me feel like I have to just keep stepping it up. I probably would have got more sponsors and more pressure, and like, like I got into writing freestyle for fun, and the contests were just a way to make money. So I'm glad I never really like got a medal and kind of went down that trajectory,
You could have been
if
Mad
that makes
Mike.
sense.
You could have been Mad Mike, had the funsy.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I'd be dead right now if I got a gold medal. For sure. It would have not been good.
So you're working for Big Pharma. Big
Yeah,
internet
baby.
internet pharma.
Yeah, slinging dick drugs.
um, is WebMD, can you get you can't get prescriptions off there, can you? It's just where they tell you that you're dying, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you have a headache, you have cancer.
So
That
what
thing.
kind of ads are you doing for that? We all know to look at WebMD to over speculate what we got going on.
Yeah. I mean, I work in ad operations, so we're just like you said, we're slinging big pharma ads. So I set all the ads up across the website and that kind of thing. It's a cool job. I don't like being in front of people, and so it's kind of a behind the scenes job, and my team is super cool, a bunch of like politically incorrect like ragtag group of people, and it's like yeah, it's good.
In Brooklyn, politically incorrect, you got to watch out.
Yeah, I know, it's surprising. Yeah, that's why I'm like, damn, I found my people. You can
Yeah.
just say whatever and be good.
Dude, if I even go to Brooklyn to do comedy, as soon as I get up on stage, they hate me because I'm a cis male.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, they're out there. They're just like they're lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, unless you go to a comedy club there, and then they're all over
Sure,
the place.
sure, sure. Do you do stand up?
Yeah,
Oh shit, that's awesome, man. I'd love to see you.
yeah, we need to get together anyway and grab a beer. Like you said, you either come
Yeah,
out here or we'll either go to something in the city. We haven't been in the city for a while.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, and then
Uh,
we'll plan our ride.
yeah, exactly. Um, so what else do you have going on? You guys, so you're married. You have any kids? No kids.
So I was married. I got
Oh,
divorced, but it was like a super good divorce. Like we're friends. I have a girlfriend now, like a year and a half, and I'm just chilling. I feel like I don't know. I feel like kind of in a weird transitional point, but like everything is good. Um, I just don't. Uh, I don't know. I'm just waiting for the next thing to happen.
yeah.
But life is good. I mean, I'm just doing my thing, enjoying New York while I'm here. I feel like I probably won't be here much longer. It's just so damn expensive and crazy. But who knows where I'll end up? Maybe Jersey.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
is that? What you? Um, if you were gonna move anywhere, job wasn't an
Mm,
issue. Where would you go?
hmm In the United States, I mean, part of me wants to, like, I hate LA, but part of me wants to stay LA just because I just have so many friends out there, and I I got back into photography recently, and I don't really have much to shoot in New York. My girlfriend owns a clothing company, and so like I'll shoot with her, and I'll do some like her model shoots and stuff. But I'm like, fuck, I would love to get back and shoot motocross, and I'm friends with like Adam Barker and a lot of filmers out there. And when I went out there recently, we hung out, and he's like, dude, I'm making this documentary. If you lived here, you could help with this. So it's like I hate LA, but I feel like it'd be cool to go back there and dive back into working and all that shit and just having fun.
Yeah.
So, so that, and then I mean, I love Providence, Rhode Island. I don't know if you've been there, but it's pretty fucking cool. My girlfriend has a lot of friends that are up there, and it's just a really cool, mellow place. And I googled if there's any motocross tracks nearby, and there are. So I'm like, okay, I could have a dirt bike here,
Of course.
but you're still dealing with winter.
Yeah. Pretty
So
gnarly.
yeah. During the pandemic, my parents recently moved to Phoenix, uh, and I was out there for a couple years, and it was actually pretty cool. I dug it. Uh, but the summer is just intense.
Um, here he's back. Oh no, he's not. I thought somebody's back asking questions. Yeah, Phoenix is cool. That then you're going real hot
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
summer.
I mean, I feel like a lot of moto dudes have ended up out there recently, though. I think Doug Parsons is out there. Nate Adams moved back out there. Um, Andy Backen, I don't know if you know him. Nate Adams' friend, he's out
Yep.
there. So I might, people are ending up out there. I think it's like a good cheap version for Southern California, but you know what I mean. It's like
I was gonna say
SoCal's way.
that's probably why people are leaving there. Like you said about New
Yeah,
York. Well, I'm
yeah,
sure LA is also, or California in general, is pretty expensive.
yeah, for sure. And it's just a shit show.
Yeah, a little bit, huh? Yeah, that would be my only. Even sorry, I'd rather be down south, kind of, but
Mm,
just
like where?
weather-wise, I don't
Sure,
know.
sure.
I was trying to move outside of Austin. This is in
Mm,
2016, and then I broke my leg real bad and was on like crutches for 6 months. I couldn't do anything, so I ended up moving back up here.
mm. Dang, that's a bummer. Yeah. When was this?
2016. So then my real
Okay,
estate would have been worth a
dude.
lot more right now.
Yeah, that time has passed, huh?
Yeah, that would have killed it just then.
Yeah. No,
As I'm,
Austin's cool. I dig it.
yeah, I'm watching it explode, and I'm like, ah, if I had
Oh
gotten
yeah,
the place, it would have been sick now.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Can I ask you questions?
sure.
So, do you still follow? I have a question. Okay, is it? Yeah, I was like away off of social media and away from motocross for maybe like 10 years, and I came back. Is is freestyle? I mean, it seems like a lot of the contests dried up. I mean, you're still seeing people ride, but like, is freestyle or contest still a thing? I mean, are people still making a living riding freestyle motocross? Do you
Um,
know?
I would say if you are on one of the like you said, the contests are basically there's no more X fighters. You
Hmm.
have X pilots in Mexico, which
Yeah.
is only a couple of them a year, and then the big ones you have X Games and Nitro World Games, but then the big
Sure.
tours are Nitro, the
Hmm.
tour, and the Night of the Jumps. And if
Mm.
you're not on one of those, then you are kind of just doing the local demo gig, I would imagine. So,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
but locally, the guys I know that still ride the like just upright riders, not flipping, pay has come back up because we don't have anybody new. So if you want to jump, Lab, I'm sure somebody would hire you.
Yeah. Yeah. They just do the same trick over and over. Uh, yeah. Okay. So people are still getting paid and riding freestyle. Yeah, and it seems like a few people are really like still pushing. It's
Yeah,
wild that like people are still pushing boundaries.
right. None of them are American.
Really?
Well, I say that not in straight up freestyle. Like right
Mm.
now in straight up freestyle, best trick, freestyle runs, Australia is killing us.
Okay.
Everybody gnarly's from Australia right now.
Mm.
We do have a couple of people that are starting to the like I think that being said, I think the people that are pushing hard are in a different well, there's two people that are pushing in like regular freestyle. There's a kid Colby Gort in Arizona, I believe.
Okay.
He's doing all kinds of tricks, and he just set up a ramp to like a concrete embankment and was doing like KOD flips and cliffhanger flips to it and shit.
Jesus. Right. Yeah.
But the other two guys that you probably hear of still are Axel Hodges and
Yeah.
Colby, but
Mm.
they're not like pushing in like I'm going to do triple flips and I'm going to do all that. They're like going kind of in their own little bit of direction. Like here we I'll find it for you. The one kid Axel flips and then lands manual.
I
Like,
have seen that.
bro, I'm like, what in the
Yeah. I
hell is
mean, it's crazy because I remember my friend Joe, he lived with Axel's brother. Um, I forgot his name,
Asher
Dirt Shark
or
or whatever.
Ash? Ash.
Yeah. And I remember him saying, like, it was super long ago, and he's like, "Yeah, my little bro rides dirt bike," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, cool." And then like to put two and two together, and I'm like, "Holy fuck, that's his little brother!" And like, he is so damn talented, man. It's wild.
Yeah. Um, dude. So here was my conversation I was having with Steve Sommerfeld. Does this win best trick? Why wouldn't it?
Um,
Can that not win best trick? Like
Absolutely. I
I
mean,
would.
what else? In theory, what else would people be doing?
This is my point. Like
Maybe some double backflips. Some,
you'd have to
yeah,
do it.
that could win. That could totally. I mean, I guess it just depends on the judges if they. But that is fucking gnarly. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro,
I couldn't even do that without the flip.
dude, me neither. Which I do think it's probably easier, and I use this term loosely. It's probably easier to manual out of a flip
Mm,
versus landing like that because your momentum at least is kind of you almost want to
yeah, I
maybe
understand.
over rotate a teeny bit. That's still
Yeah, but
gnarly.
you
I
have
don't
to
want to
have
do that.
perfect timing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I don't want to do that at 80 feet or whatever the hell that gap was.
that's sick. That's sick. Do most guys? that ride four strokes in freestyle, are they on 450s?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
nobody's riding a 250F. Maybe
gotcha.
Bilko still is? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's on
Um,
like a 350 or something. I saw that recently.
yeah.
450 just seems super fucking scary. I mean, I don't. You ride a 450. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those things scare me.
And I rode a 450 for the last like year or two of freestyle as well. I flipped it and stuff. Which
Okay.
it's just good in some ways and it's just different. You
Yeah.
know, like I was almost like, dude, I should have done this before because the first time I rode it was a concrete floor monster truck show. So it was
Mm,
concrete, but they'd put dirt in. But we had to come off of the dirt onto the concrete to turn and then go back
yeah.
on. And the dirt, we were like turning where the monster trucks were, and the monster trucks keep driving back on and off. So the dirt keeps like breaking off. The dude's
Mm.
standing there wetting the dirt on the concrete so it doesn't make dust. And I'm like, so on a 252 stroke, I would have been clutching the hell out of it in the
Yeah. Yeah.
corners
Yeah.
so it didn't spin. And then the dirt was spongy like Play Doh. Then I would have been clutching it on the dirt. And the 450, I was just like, just turned it on,
Yeah.
rolled it on. It didn't matter. Either one.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Man, I was such a bitch when I rode. Like, I mean, probably for. I mean, I'm still walking, so it's like good that I was. But I just remember like any contest or event where it was just like a little sketchy. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not doing this shit. And people always gave me shit. Like we were in Japan once and with King and Mike Harris and Julian Deso and just a ramp to dirt. It was a demo, but it started raining and it was super fucking muddy and a metal ramp. So it had mud all over it.
Yeah.
And these guys are still fucking hitting it. I'm like, I'm good, dude. I'm not hitting this shit. They're like, you're not going to get paid. I'm like, I'm good. Like I was always a little bit of a puss, like, you know,
Dude, I
so
used to try to get people to stand up and be like, no, we're not going to jump it because, like even in our contract, it's like, at our professional discretion. The one place they're like, we're at like some car show and they go, we're going to, we got blowers here, whatever. If you need anything, let us know. We'll like dry it up or whatever. So they do a burnouts right next to our run-in at the ramp, and then they keep wetting the pavement. So then that's just like running across our run-in, and we're like, "Hey,
yeah.
is the guy with the blower here?" And they go, "Oh man, he left hours ago." And I'm like, "Whoa, how does this help us? This doesn't help us at all." So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I mean, shit could get sketchy. I was in, I was doing a show in Sheffield. It was a contest and they made the ramps, the bars, the spacing between, going up the ramp was probably like 2 feet apart. And then they had like quarter-inch plywood. That was it. And I remember, I don't think anyone really noticed. And the first kid that hit it, I feel like his name was Dylan or something. He hit it and his front wheel went right through the ramp. And he ended up getting super fucked up. And so, yeah, it's good to question that shit.
yeah, I agree. Have you seen this? Raha's building a
The spine,
yeah.
I did see it. Did they release part two?
No, not yet. But look at that thing.
Okay.
Dude, that looks
That is
not
gnarly. I saw that video and I was thinking, wouldn't you want to try making it out of dirt first so you can kind of get like right?
you
I
would
mean, it's,
think. Look at how he gets thrown right here and they pause it, but it doesn't look good. And look how high he is on that thing. Is this part two?
yeah. So he's gonna have to go way faster to get over that.
Dude.
Uh, I mean, yeah, that's sick. His place looks really cool. Looks
Yeah.
really cool.
But it's like he's like I was saying, he's pushing, but not in the direction of like
Hmm.
straight up freestyle. I'm gonna do more flips and twists and whatever, body varials or whatever. Like he's kind of carving out his own niche, and he's like when he goes to X Games and does quarter pipe high air, he's not afraid to, give her the juice when
Yeah.
he has to.
Yeah. No, I respect that. And I feel like that makes sense in today's day and age with being able to create your own media and have a YouTube channel and Instagram to be able to do cool shit like that.
Yeah.
In pushing it that way. Yeah, I think that's cool. I still haven't seen his movie. I wanna see that, the
I
Narnia movie. Or
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I also need to
yeah,
watch it.
I'll have to bootleg it.
Shh. No, I doubt Schweitzer or Colby watch this.
Yeah.
All right, dude. We can wrap it up. Maybe we'll get together. We'll document your first time riding and whatever, some years
Yeah,
over the
that
summer.
would be sick. I would love that. Yeah, keep in touch, man.
Yeah. You want to? I guess you're like not trying to push anybody to your website. You're like,
Nah,
yeah, go to my website, WebMD.
yeah. You definitely have AIDS. Go there. Check it out.
Get something for your herpes. Go to WebMD.
Yeah,
All right, there's a
yeah, baby.
commercial. All right,
Awesome. All
guys.
right, man. Thank you.
Yep. Hold on. I'm going to run my outro that I just made. Everybody, see you later.